So the biggest impact that I've had on my base at RAF Laken Heath as a Hope Specialist is the good part about being a Hope Specialist, we can actually create affinity groups. And affinity groups is basically like, in a nutshell, let's say an airman has a hobby. Let's say this airman has a hobby of, so like I'll just rattle off some affinity groups that we have right now. We have D&D night, anime night, we have video game night. So we're able to create these groups where an airman that has a hobby of such, you guys can come together and then hang out, whatever that hobby may be, right? So an affinity group that I created was called Ohana Night. And Ohana Night is where different squadrons around the base cook for the single dorm airmen. So we're basically providing a home-cooked meal away from home. We're giving back to the hardworking men and women in uniform, young men and women in uniform. And Hope has given me that platform, those resources that I needed, that guidance on really how to create Ohana Night. And because of the impact that it's made on base, because we've been able to connect with different squadrons on the base and say, hey, do you want to cook for the single dorm airmen? You would be amazed of how many squadrons have booked a night with us. So we have our chiefs group that signed up for a night. We have our shirts that signed up for a night. We have our airman dorm leaders that signed up for a night. So this has been a super big, impactful thing, being a Hope Specialist. And because essentially, if you think about it, the Hope Specialist, the Hope, we basically host Ohana Night, but the different squadrons are on the base sponsor for that night. So for instance, the first one that we had was the dental squadron. My squadron got to host Ohana Night. So everyone came over to the chapel and we had over 200 airmen show up, and we managed to make over 50 to-go plates. And so we made it for the security forces over at the gate. We made it for the fire department. We made it for the medical staff that worked overnight. We also made to-go plates for the maintainers that couldn't make it to Ohana Night because they're on swings or mids. So the biggest impact of being a Hope Specialist is the fact that we can create these affinity groups, these fun groups that the junior enlisted can come together and come hang out. And what better way to come together than free food, a free home cooked meal essentially, and breaking up that monotony of going to work, going to the DFAC, and then going straight back to their room. We want to break up that monotony. As a Hope Specialist, it's our job, it's our duty to serve, to be impactful, to give back to the airmen, and I feel like that's what Ohana Night says a lot. So that would be probably the most impactful one as a Hope Specialist, just because of the platform that they give you and all the guidance that the chaplains give you on whatever ideas you have, any ideas that you want to create. They're right on board with you. They want to support you. They want to be there for you, and they're asking you, like, what do you need from us to create this? So just having that support system as a Hope Specialist, having the chaplains in your corner, there for you to help you with whatever you need, just like this affinity group for Ohana Night. I would say that's probably the most impactful event I've been able to create for the base, for the airmen. And it's just a great way to create that teamwork, that camaraderie that I feel like sometimes certain bases lack. And it's hard to look on the outside of after long days of work. You'd be surprised of how many of these airmen are fresh from high school. They don't know how to cook. They're just kind of learning as they go, right? Hope Specialists and creating Ohana Night, Hope Specialists are giving them that one less thing that they have to worry about for dinner for that night.